Moment while I do my sound check, as usual. Got to check that sound. Sound check. You know, you got the whole leg thing going on where the time it takes to upload to YouTube and then come back to my phone so I can check the sound. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Cool. There we go. Sound check is complete. So let's go ahead and go to our live chat. Cool. All right. So what we're here for today is I got this cool, awesome Filmation head in the mail, and it is fantastic. I cannot believe how good this is. It took a while to get it because after I got it, I had to go to the post office and pick it up because I had to sign for it. It took me a while to get there, but it's an amazing job. I have the link in the description if you guys want to get your own. But we're going to use this head today to make our own Filmation He-Man for Origins. But before we jump to that, let's go ahead and talk about some ways you can use this head. So first of all, if you guys got the Christmas He-Man, which is really cool. Hey, thanks. Welcome from Mexico. Thanks for being here. Well, this He-Man right here was the Christmas He-Man, and he actually came with this face, but I decided to swap it out so I can have an extra He-Man. It had a different expression. See, it's boop, removable head. But normally he has this face on there. But if you got the Christmas one, you could actually take and pop this head off and then stick on this head, and look how cool that looks. Now you got yourself a Filmation He-Man by using the Christmas one. And that's pretty easy to do. And I like because your hair is orange like it was in the cartoon. So it actually matches the cartoon color way better. Look at the paint on there. It is just amazing. So that's one thing you could do is you can just take and swap that out really quick. Another thing you could do, I'll put the Christmas head back on. Actually, this guy's head actually comes off and on even easier than the ones that Super 7 made. So that's cool. And doesn't have the crazy shine glow. Look at the difference. I mean, it is way better than the Super 7 head. Look at the eyes and the face. Oh, well. Anyway, so another thing you can do is you can take this He-Man right here. This is the one that came from the 2-pack, the Superman one. And because the skin tone is darker, oh, I got to heat up his head before I pull it off. I got my hot water over here just sitting and waiting to be used. Let's see. Yes, Ricky, it does look good. It is a cool head. And like I said, the link's in the description if you guys want to pick one up. The guy does a phenomenal job. I was really thoroughly impressed with what a good job he did. I mean, it is just amazing. Now, I'm not going to ever put this in hot water because I'm afraid, not knowing exactly what kind of materials he used or paint he used, it might get ruined in hot water. But I don't need to. It's soft enough rubber that it just fits on there just right. You don't have to use any kind of putty or any other kind of crazy stuff. The guy used some great materials. So this particular skin body is actually a darker skin tone than the standard He-Man we usually get. And so it does work really nice with the 2-pack that came with Superman. Now where this comes in handy is you can take this Superman, paint his cuffs orange, throw on some Filmation armor, and then you'd have yourself a Filmation style He-Man with the 2 cuffs instead of the arm gauntlet, and have it the right shade of skin and just plop the head on there. So that'd be a good way to do it too. All right, so that's some cool ways you can do this. Now, when it comes to this head, because it is darker, being it's supposed to be used with the Filmation body, you just can't grab an Origins figure and toss the head on there. But I bet you if you were to contact the guy and say, hey, I want a lighter color Filmation head that matches Origins, I bet you he could do it. Because I know he made mine custom just for me. Even though he has them on his site, I'm sure he had to actually make this before he mailed it out. So I'm sure he could probably make any color you want. Oh, they're sold out? Well, there are other cool heads on there. So just check out from the link I sent you, or contact the seller from the link as well. So let's go ahead and open up this He-Man. Like I said, it took a long time for it to come in the mail, so I'll just contact the seller. Let him know you want a head too. Tell him Hebro sent you. That way he knows that that guy who bought the head from him is talking about it. So let's take a look and see how this looks just the way it is before we do any altercations. Ugh. Ugh. There we go. So the skin tone's a little different. Not too bad, but you could go with that route. But I'm going to actually go with a whole different route. It was arm stuck. Okay, we got a stuck elbow joint. Remember we talked about how to fix those. So I'll go ahead and stick this in the water now and start it soaking. But I'm going to steal his armor while I'm doing this. So I have it. And then we'll fix this arm while we're at it too. And let's go ahead and open up the rock. Because I'm going to use the rock's body again to make myself a Filmation He-Man. The rock. Hey, you're going to lose your sword, man. Now, the rock is a really cool figure. Has lots of great ways to use him for customization. And I've actually used him already to make a custom Filmation He-Man in the past that I sold on eBay. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, one thing I did do, and I used this figure last time, is I took some acetone and a Q-tip and just cleaned off the actual tattoos, and that worked really well. But we're going to go ahead and do a little more than that. First of all, you're going to lose your armor rock. Ugh. And we're going to stick on the He-Man armor. Whoop. There we go. Now I'm going to heat this up. Take a look at the sword piece, and you can see it's been kind of mangled in the box. So let's go ahead and fix that. I get to see it in the water just straighten right out. So check that out. Just put it in the water for a little bit, and bada bing, bada boom, all fixed. There we go. Can you imagine if they actually used the rock to play He-Man? How cool that'd be. Throw an orange wig on him and have him be He-Man. Oh, his head's kind of stuck. Well, while we're waiting to get his head out of there, let's go ahead and pull that arm out of the water. And let's fix that elbow joint. Now, you know what's cool is, as you guys know, I opened that figure just the other day that looks like She-Ra. And when I opened that She-Ra figure, there was actually an extra piece of paper that the Four Horsemen included. And it says, boop, this whole entire long thing saying that you may want to use hot water before you start moving the joints, or a hairdryer. I guess a hairdryer it says. In order to loosen the joints, and slightly before posing, gently rock the joint forwards and back, or clockwise, depending on the joint. Basically to cause any irreparable joint breakage. I thought, wow, that's exactly what I've been talking about. So like this elbow was stuck. Now that I heated it up, I'm going to take and rock this back and forth just to break any seals that might be in there. And now that I got the seal broken on there, it should be able to bend without breaking. There we go. Ta-da! And I don't have to worry about He-Man's arm snapping on me. And so that's the way you guys fix those frozen joints before they get broken. All right. And now let's go ahead and heat up He-Man's shorts. Boop. And the rocks, which for the rock I also had to use acetone around there too. I'm not going to do it now though, but I'll do that off camera sometime. Let's just go ahead and put this together quickly, and I guess I got to soak his arms too to get his elbow pieces off there. Whew, got a lot of stuff stuffed in there. All right, for those that just joined, I got this really cool head. And this head works really good for replacing, for like a figure like this, your Christmas He-Man. It's the same skin tone, and it's got a nice orange coat, that color, which matches really well. It also matches this skin tone too of the He-Man figure from the 2-pack that came with Superman. So that's a really great way to mix it. And if you want, if you do the 2-pack from the Superman figure, you can just paint the cuffs orange. It makes a really cool Filmation style He-Man. All right, so let's go ahead and get the rock out of there and some pieces and see if we can't start fixing him up. So first of all, let's break apart his arm. Nope, not hot enough yet. I could probably just slide this over. Oh, I can. Cool. It's hot enough to get that off. That's all we need. And let's go ahead and do the other arm. And again, like I said, to get rid of the tattoos and the black paint, just use a little bit of acetone and a Q-tip, and be very careful. Just use a little bit. If you use too much, it's going to actually destroy the plastic. So it's super light, and afterwards you flush it with lots of water, because the acetone will keep melting the plastic if you don't. And then same with these two. Acetone around here to clean it off. Take off these knee pads. If you can't get the knee pads off, just pull the leg apart, and then you can pop off the knee pad really easy that way. So if you ever get stuck and you can't quite get the knee pad off, that's all you have to do. Just don't mix up where the parts go. There we go. Now let's get Flea Man's legs out of there. Let's put the Rock's legs back on there. And again, off camera, I'm going to take this back apart and clean off all that black. There it is. Burp. Ta-da! There you got yourself a nice Filmation He-Man. Now, the problem is he doesn't have, well, first of all, the black, I still have to get rid of that. But this armor is not really Filmation armor. So there's a couple ways you can go with that. One, you could go buy yourself a super expensive figure that has the Filmation armor, which would be ridiculous. Or you can go to a Big Bad Toy Store or eBay or something and pick yourself up a $20 He-Man figure and just snag the armor from him. So let's go ahead and do that. And he probably has a Filmation sword in here we can use as well. So, and he does. So let's just steal his armor. He doesn't need it. I am going to heat it up a little bit though, just because it's such hard plastic. I don't want it to crack. And while we're at that, let's go ahead and pull his off. Now it is funny, to get his armor off, you have to actually rip his body in half. So it is kind of funny that it's hard to reuse this armor on a non-Origins figure. All right. So let's stick this on here. And there we got some pretty inexpensive Filmation parts to go to. Now the most expensive part on this figure is the head. The custom head is pretty spendy, but there are other people out there making custom heads. So now one thing I don't like about this armor is it sits really low on his chest. That's kind of a weird thing, but let's have to put that really low. And now let's go ahead and grab out his other Filmation bits that come with that $20 He-Man figure. Oh. Oh, he does have an Origins He-Man head on eBay. Excellent. So those of you guys can actually go back on the link I sent you and just look for his other auctions. There you go. Now you can have a He-Man Filmation sword. You can have the shield too if you want. Doesn't fit in his hand quite right, but I don't want to scratch his gold cuff. But there you go. there is your Filmation He-Man. And if he already has the Origins one, even an easier fix, you don't have to even use the Rock's body to do it. You can just go right with that. And then, like I said, if you want to get the Filmation sword, that's a full sword, and Filmation armor, just pick up one of these $20 He-Man figures that break pretty easy. It's a bummer we can't put this armor back on him. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to go up through his legs and see if we can't stretch this up and around. Urgh. Let's heat it up first, see how far we can stretch it. Come on, He-Man. You can do it. Oh, that is really tight. I guess I could probably get it on the 80s one by pulling it up over his legs. Maybe not on. Oh. Hey, Ray, I got it on. So I guess you can put on the older figures. You just got to stick it on kind of cattywampus by going up through his legs to get it on. We're not wasting a whole entire figure for nothing. Whoop. There we go. All right. So there is my Origins Filmation He-Man. He's nice and dark skin tone, just like Filmation is. And you can see next what's left over of my He-Man Origin parts. I'll find a use for those. All right, you guys. So 30, excellent job getting one. That's cool. Hopefully the rest of you guys will get it too. It is a really cool figure. And remember, for those of you who want, my guy's also up on eBay for sale. I have a link to it from my last video if you want to click on it. I guess I should put a link in this video too. And that's all that I got. I just wanted to show off my cool new He-Man head. I'm actually not going to use it on this Filmation figure though. I think I'm going to actually use it on this guy right here, I'm thinking. I think that'd be cool. Oh, his head's kind of stuck on there. I don't want to ruin it right now. I will heat it up later and do it. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.